But what else do Seventh-day Adventists believe? Really, I don't know. As far as I'm aware, the big thing is the Sabbath and the dietary laws. And I think they also don't believe in drinking alcohol, but that's not like a big deal at all. I mean, if they say it's a sin to drink alcohol, that is not correct, because then Jesus would have been a sinner. But, you know, I think it's because they're advocating for, you know, not being an addict and being of sober mind. So that's righteous, even though, you know, I think we do need to be careful with legalism, in the sense of you don't want to invent laws that don't exist. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to say that people doing something Jesus did are in sin. So, in part, you know, it's probably why Jesus drank wine. Because Jesus talked, first of all, if Jesus wanted to not drink wine the entire time he was on the earth, he wouldn't have. And John the Baptist did not drink wine a day of his life. But then Jesus came and drank wine. I think everything Jesus did was intentional. Jesus did nothing of his own will or desire. Jesus only did what he was instructed to do by the Father, which means the Father literally instructed Jesus to turn water into wine as well as to drink wine. He told him to drink wine. So, you know, there has to be something significant about it. There has to be something significant, not about, oh yeah, there's something amazing about wine or anything like that, but the message he was trying to preach, if anything, just to be as a sign for a fruit test for ministries. If you're in a ministry and they're telling you it's an evil and wicked thing to have any alcohol, well, then you know that ministry is not of God, bro. It's not of God. Why? Because Jesus drank wine. You're now saying Jesus sinned, right? And his disciples drank wine too. Some people might say, well, Jesus had a supernatural ability to not be intoxicated. Did his disciples have that ability as well? No. So now, of course, you know, and the idea that, oh, well, it's about not getting drunk. Listen, the whole point of drinking wine or any alcohol is for the intoxicating effects. Now, of course, Jesus is not God isn't saying you can get intoxicated to the point where you are, you know, going to fall into sin. And you're also not supposed to be given too much wine. That's an articulation I came across in studying the church fathers, where it's talking about what it looks like to be a godly man. And they actually articulate it just like that. If you are somebody who habitually drinks, if you are somebody who is drunk often, you cannot be a minister. But it's not saying if you're somebody who ever drinks, you can't be a minister. That's just not what the church fathers believed. And I don't think that's what the Bible articulated either. You know, even women, when it's talking about godly women, it says she must not be given over to much wine. Let's see if I can actually find. Yeah, I guess I didn't highlight it because like drinking isn't something I really care about much anymore. But I know I just remember reading it, like reading how it was said that, you know, the specific thing he was talking about was not being given over to wine, like not being a habitual drinker, someone who drinks on a regular basis, on an often basis. So, yeah. So maybe for that case, and, you know, to be honest, when I do look at these ministries that preach that you literally can never, like alcohol can never touch your lips or else you're in sin, you know, I usually can find other problems with what they preach as well.